Hey, it's Juan and Jonathan for pedalsandeffects.com. This is our fuzz off that we decided to do. And we're going to do the swollen pickle, my Sovtek fuzz that I had for many, many years that I got from Tyler Bates. He was a guitar player in Pet and he gave me this. I'm giving him props. Shout out to him. This is the Super Oscillo fuzz that I bought online. Last Gap Laboratories is the one that makes it. I think they're in Australia. Cool design, a lot of stuff in that. And then the Eau Claire Thunder. This is the fuzz. It's got some other stuff to it, but I just wanted to do kind of my favorites at the time. But of course that changes, so your favorites always change, and you know, who knows, I might like something different. So what I do is I have these all set up on a loop pedal down here, and so I can just click in between them. So you'll hear, this is the first one. This is the swollen pickle. Now this is the Sovtek. This is the Oscillo fuzz. Probably not massive volume, right? Let's kick it up a little. That's the hardest thing that Jonathan and I found. We were trying to match the volumes, and typically when you have a low endy one like the Sovtek, it doesn't sound as loud because this guy kicks out more because he's in the mid-range, and so you're going to hear mid-range more in your computer speakers or whatever you're listening this YouTube on. So it was really pretty much a task to get the volumes right, and I just don't want you to think that because it's louder it's better. Just really try to listen to the full spectrum and what you're looking for. So I think I mastered it a little bit better. And then this is the Eau Claire Thunder. So like I said, we're trying to, you know, A, B, C, D them. And I think, you know, the main difference is, like, for me, this is my favorite. It probably always will be. But it's just for like that one sound that it really does well. But the Oscillo fuzz has all these switches on it, and there's a oscillator in this that you can tweak out the filter out so it has like interesting fuzz tones. So does the Eau Claire. It has this feedback loop. Yeah. And then this is the bypass of just the whole pedal. Anyway, there's a lot to it. You can read online. I kind of get stumped explaining things all the time because it's a lot of work to explain in an articulate fashion what the pedal does. It's easier if you just go read it on their website. So Eau Claire is on their website. You can go check it out. So just read up on it, but you can find out whatever. What we're going to do is I'm going to hand the bass over to Jonathan. He's going to play while I tweak knobs, and you can kind of get an idea of what these pedals are capable of doing. He's playing the Raider bass, which is a custom shop Fender bass, and everything is flat. It's just that bass. There's no effects in front of it, and it's custom shop Fender pickups, and that's it, maple neck. And so I just want you to know we're trying to give you the truest fuzz off that we can give you. So
no tone control or anything.
No tone control. As you can see, you just get volume and that's it. So there's no manipulation of anything. We're not trying to pimp any one of these. We're just trying to give you a good idea of what the fuzz pedals that we like. So here's Swollen Pickle. That swollen pickle does more than that, but I'm just showing you the filtering of it. And of course, like Jonathan's going to play different. I'm going to play different as the filters change. But you can see that, you know, there was a scoop that was pretty cool, filtering, the crunch, the sustain, here's the filter itself. I try not to mess with the volumes, and again, you're going to notice volume change. There's nothing I can do to control that, so I just want you to be able to hear the pedal. It's getting louder, but just listen for the tone and maybe not so much for the actual volume level. So now we're going to go to the Sovtek, which is pretty basic, 3 knobs. So you can see, man, this guy's got a lot of stuff. I'm doing very little of what this pedal is capable of, and I've used this in other videos I've made where I put the filtering in before another effect, and you can really dial in that other effect. So if you put a ring modulator on after this, it tweaks out, or the micro synth after this, and you start filtering it out, you just start getting these weird buzzy sounds. I mean, we're playing fretted bass, but with fretless, I get like what I think sounds more like a Moog synth, distorted. But anyway, so let's check out the Eau Claire Thunder, the newest, youngest buck. So, Jonathan's going to tell you his thoughts on these 4 of my 4 current favorites.
Well, let's see here. The Swollen Pickle, the Way Huge Swollen Pickle, is a really unique one, I think, in just the sound quality. It's a real kind of buzzy, weird sounding one. I don't know how it would work in a band. I've tried it, and I like it. It's really kind of bassy and big and woofy, and it can probably knock down a big PA system in a place pretty well.
and you know, it's weird. I get the feeling too that I think if we use flat wounds with this guy, I think you'd get like that Geezer Fuzz or something, and it might be really cool because I think that the uncontrollable fuzz element of it would get kind of tapered out with the flat wounds, because the flat wounds don't have as much high end as the round wounds strings. So I mean, again, there's so many combos of way you can try it that you know, Jonathan and I both know, like, there's things that he uses in his band Todd Hacker that if I used, I wouldn't be able to fit it in with what I'm doing, but he finds a way to fit it in. So you might find a way to fit it in. Like, we're just discussing our opinions and how it works with what we usually dial in. Right. So, you know, you might differ and go get one, and you tell us how you're using it. So how about the Sovtek?
Well, I was also going to say about this one that you can pretty much get it anywhere. It's still available. They make it, and it's easy to find, and it's pretty inexpensive compared to maybe some of the rest of these.
Yeah, these guys, fuzz pedals. You know, the fuzz world they have a movie about fuzz pedals. So of course, you know, we're just doing something that's been talked about for years and years.
Yeah.
Sovtek, you can't find, especially this series, which doesn't have any screws on the top here. They only have screws on the side here and the side down there. I forget what generation, it might be second, third generation. There's Civil War, Horseheads, I don't know. There's so many Sovtek. But they even two that were made side by side in the same year and the same day are going to sound different. I have another one. Let me grab it. As you can see, I have another one. Same thing. There's no screws on top. This is what this one looked like before the paint wore off. But this one sounds a lot different than this one does because they've used different components. It's like a bass. Like one might sound great and one might not sound great. I owned a Civil War one, which was really expensive for me to get on eBay. And I didn't like it at all. Where my friend Scott Schreiner has one and he loves it. So again, it's all a matter of taste and if you can find one that really sounds good. So anyway, that's the Sovtek. I mean, do you?
I love it. I mean, I've always loved it. I've loved the way you've used it, and I know it's your baby. Yannick refers to him as Mr. Sovtek because he's so attached to this thing, and I understand why. It's so full, and yet there's definition somehow, even though it has everything you'd want out of just a meat and potatoes fuzz, I guess. I mean, it's kind of a magical beast.
It earned the 3 flags.
3 flags.
I never even noticed that till now, but it has 3 flags. I wanted to make sure if anybody looked at it from any angle on my pedal board, they would see a flag. And so the Sovtek has the 3 flag rating. No other, I don't even think any other pedal I have has a 3 flag rating. I'm just, sorry, we're being goofy, but anyway, I'm being goofy. So anyway, how about the Oscillopod? What did you think of it?
I love it. It's so weird, and I think it would be like one of those things where you use it very specifically. You'd find that one sound that it does, or that one weird thing it does to your. I mean, it's one of those things where it would change the way you'd play.
Right.
I think,
for sure. Right. I see that.
Grabs, it like squelches certain attacks and does weird stuff if you wanted to. I know Josh Klinghoffer, who I play with, uses this for certain, just when he wants it just to everything to just fizzle out and sound.
Right.
Broken.
It has
crazy.
that. I like playing it with my fingers better, like that. So it's the same thing. Like for me, it's like you're saying, you find that use for it. And when I play it with my fingers, that one I can get. It kind of gives it a little bit deeper sound, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and the way that thing I was playing was not subtle or I mean, I was really hitting it hard, which maybe isn't the best thing to do with fuzzes all the time, but.
Right.
I was just like really whacking into these notes to try to see what we could push through these things.
Right.
So,
I mean, like a lot of the Octavia fuzz is the same kind of concept where like sometimes you hit softer, it actually opens up the pedal. And then when you hit harder, it actually compresses the pedal more. So we're playing around with that too. Like we were both hitting hard, but when you hit softer, we could even show that example, but it opens up the pedal because it's not compressing the signal so much. I mean, that's the thing about fuzzes, man. You have to pay attention to what you're playing. There's some pedals that you don't really have to do that. Like I find a lot of my ring modulator pedals, you just hit a note, it does the sound, it makes it. But these, I believe that it all is in how you control. Sometimes I whack my string really hard and this guy sounds great. But sometimes you can play with your fingers really with a soft touch and it opens his pedal up. But anyway, and I know you love this Eau Claire.
Oh, I love that thing.
Dwarfcraft.
Yeah, it just. I can't say enough good things about it. It has weird things. It has an Oscilla feedback thing. I don't know what it's.
Oh, that's right. We didn't even mess with it.
We didn't even mess with it. It makes weird noises and you can turn your volume up and down and does weird stuff. But it's just a straight up fuzz. I use this version here, which is a smaller version with not quite as many options. No, that's not even it.
That is it. That's a custom made one.
That's a custom one, yeah.
But yeah, he has it. I have it. Yeah, there it is.
This little guy is the one I use a lot, and it has the same things as that one. It's just not as, you don't have foot switches for everything. But I don't know. This one cuts through things, it seems like. It doesn't get muddy, even though it's real powerful. It has a mid boost in it, so you don't get lost. It has a lot going on, and it's just a solid. I don't know. I would recommend it to pretty much anybody, and I do.
Right, for sure. We both do.
We love it. So.
And again, like what I was going to add, like Jonathan and I, we really do like noisy things. It's not for everybody. There's a lot of comments I get, and sometimes I think like that just sounds like complete garbage or whatever you want to say because it's so noisy. But but you know, we kind of like noise, I have to say. And Jonathan, especially with the way he came up in bass playing in the bands that he played with, I mean, go check out some of the YouTubes. I mean, he's going for some crazy, crazy noise, and it's musical to us. It sounds like music to us. So, you know, maybe you don't like noise. Maybe you want, like, the Oscillofuzz isn't for you because it's too noisy. So then go buy this. I mean, we're just trying to, again, show everything. And I do like the noise in this. And sometimes we'll just go get feedback with Fuzz. And I used to do that in another band I was in called Destruction Felix. This was my main pedal, Fuzz, and I loved it just for the straight feedback when I would hold the bass up to the SVT and have it feed back. I mean, it just feeds back like, sounds like Fugazi to me, you know? So again, you have to be open-minded. This is the Fuzz world, just like any other pedal world. This is very taste particular, and
it's like wine or whiskey or anything else.
We know about that.
I was going to tell a story about this real quick. Speaking of that, my friend Eric Avery, great legendary bass player in
Jane's
Addiction and Polar Bear and a lot of other things. Wonderful.
Destruction.
Yeah.
Was it destruct? No, what was it?
Deconstruction.
Deconstructing. God, sorry, Eric.
I thought you
Deconstruction. We recorded Eric. We were both like, deconstruction. You know, the band you have in the world. We love that. Like, I mean, I don't know how many people know that, but we did, and we were telling Eric how much we love that album.
It's great. He's great, and
he is.
he tours with Garbage, the band Garbage, and he wrote me and asked. He said, "I'm looking for a distortion or a fuzz that's a little more polite." For Garbage, he was like peeping in on some of our Twitter conversations and got hip to this through that and bought it. And he says he loves it, but it's just too much for that particular instance. He needs something a little mellower, so I suggested some other things. So that gives you an idea of, you know, sometimes you just have to try things.
Right.
I very seldom get rid of distortion pedals. I very seldom get rid of any pedals, frankly. But
he definitely doesn't get rid of it. He has these things. I'm like, when was the last time you used it? But it doesn't matter. He keeps it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not worth getting rid of because you never know when it could come up. And
For sure.
Sometimes, you know, there's some of these that I will not get sick of, but just kind of find something else that maybe feels a little fresher to me, and I'll put one away for a while, and then I'll come back to it, and I can't believe that I left it I neglected it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, this is so great. I can't believe I haven't been using it every day. And
your taste change.
Your taste change and the situation you're in changes.
Right,
you know,
true.
Some of these just wouldn't work. I mean, like Eric was saying about this in Garbage, it was too much madness, and he needed something that could fit into what he was after for the band. And
So what did you recommend?
I recommended just some distortions rather than fuzzes. Just a little smoother, not smoother, what's the word I'm looking for? A little more even kind of things. A little
controllable?
Yeah, maybe so. I think I suggested, and some kind of heavier overdrive. I think I suggested like the Porcelain and the
Porcelain's great.
Tech 21 XXL.
You like that one, I know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And
I always recommend the amp tweaker.
I think I told him about that one too.
I have one somewhere. Yeah. This, to me, like, I think a lot of metal dudes are using it. I mean, I know I used to play in a metal band. Maybe that is why I like it. I don't know, but to me, it's like the Marshall Governor when it came out. Like, it has EQ, and when you turn it on, it distorts, but you have a low end boost because of the tone, and it also has this tight thing that you can kind of tighten up the distortion spectrum. So it's pretty tight, but we're not doing distortions, we're doing fuzzes. So this is our first round, these four. I asked anybody like watching YouTube, or if you hit my site, pedalsandeffects.com, I'd prefer you put it on there so we can all have a dialogue on there. And just tell us what you think of these four, or what ones you think you like better, or what we should check out. I mean, we only have so many pedals and fuzz pedals and money, so we're gonna do the ones that we have access to, but just let us know.
Ones we know how to use, kind of,
Right.
There's a lot sitting around that I have and that you probably have that I just wouldn't even know where to start with.
Right.
Some of the weird stuff. So.
And so feel free to place your link on my website. I mean, there's a forum, a talk board or whatever, chat room, and you can just you know, there's a lot of guys already on there talking about pedals and gear and stuff. And post yours. I would love to see them. I mean, we learn like you guys learn YouTubes. I mean, I don't know, man. He and I together after dinner, we'll stay up till 6 in the morning looking at YouTubes of pedals or music or musicians. YouTube is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to musicians. So
Yeah, everyone's the same in that way.
yeah,
You know,
So-
we all learn the same way. I
for
guess.
sure. So anyway, so this is the first round, and we got round 2 coming up. But you know, stay tuned. Thank you.